Hey guys, welcome back to INSANEBRIT Gaming. I'm the INSANEBRIT, and today I'm going to be talking about E3. I'm going to be talking about Xbox Scarlett a little bit and my thoughts and opinions on that. But I'm also not going to do individual videos for every single press conference that's gone out. I will be talking about Ubisoft. I'll be talking about a little bit about Square Enix. There was a lot of games there, but I'm not really interested in a lot of their games. But I'm just going to have a little bit of a mention. About them and what other games that I'm excited for, including some Ubisoft games as well. So I'm going to try and address as many games that I'm interested in as possible, and talk about some highlights that I feel were at the Xbox conference, and then try to go right the way through to Square Enix again at the best of my ability, mentioning some games that I'm kind of interested in. There were a lot of indie games and stuff like that, things that I weren't personally interested in. Some looked interesting, but I couldn't catch the names of them, and it's just a slew of so many that we'll be here literally all day. So I want to talk about some of the highlights. So first and foremost, I'm going to address the elephant in the room, and that is essentially Xbox Scarlett has been announced. They were relaxed about it last year, and then they kind of like said, oh, well, it's coming, blah, 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 whatever. And everyone was all hyped. This year, they've actually said, yes, it's coming, and they gave a release date, which is very exciting. New technology. It's been about what? So it came out in, I don't even know when. I know the PS4, it came out in 2013, 14. Did it come out just after that? I think PS4 beat them to the punch, and it came out a bit after. But it's been about 5, 6 years or whatever now. At this point, technology moves so fast. But I will address the elephant in the room. But before we get to that, it's 120 frames per second, 8K, and it's 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X. My opinion of as at this point right now, don't buy any consoles. Stick with your original PS4, stick with your original Xbox or Xbox S or whatever you've got, but don't buy anything more right now. I don't think it's really worth it. You might as well wait a year and a half, then you'll get the new Xbox, whatever that's called, Xbox 2, etc., etc. So yeah, it's 4 times more powerful and all the rest of it. I haven't seen the design of it. I kind of really like the Xbox One S or X design. I like it. I don't really want to change to something weird or whatever. And then it kind of, when I really think about it, if it comes out like this, just say this big, and then like in a year later they come out with a Spectrum that's a bit like that, so it might be a bit smaller. So I'm kind of like annoyed already at thinking about the next generation being bigger, and then they come out with a smaller version, like a unique, a better version, which is ironic really, because what happened with the PS4 was they had a big one this big, and then they had to make it bigger to do the 4K, which actually is bigger. But whatever, that is here or there. That's just the reality of it. So yeah, so what they're doing, well, they're talking about the streaming service. They kept mentioning Stadia and everything, and in respects to their Xbox Game Pass, which I think is a great idea. And I said this when I just jumped on it, and I said, why isn't there Xbox Live and like the Xbox Gold and the Game Pass integrated? And now they have done that. That's it was like pro gamer kind of situation there, which I really liked. It was like it made sense. We've done it for you. You've listened. They're focused more on games this time instead of that TV shit and the crappy Connect that they did last generation. They bought 14 new studios under their belt now, which is going to be exciting, meaning more exclusives. However, it is counter to that because they've actually now gone and put the Xbox Game Pass on the PC, reaching more customers, millions of customers. Let's be honest, and it's all about the money. But at the same time, I mean, this is long term. So if I'm giving them £10 a month, that's like £100, 120 a year every year in theory, at this point, because now it says to me, if you've got the Xbox Game One Pass for PC, what is the point in going out and buying an Xbox if I can play all the games on PC and I prefer my PC? There's no real reason for me to go and buy an Xbox 2 or whatever you want to call it. So I think that's kind of counterproductive in retrospect. If anything, they should have just ported that Halo series, if they wanted to port it, onto PC and said, there you go, there's Halo, it's a big franchise, enjoy it in itself. So there's like less exclusives on the Xbox now at this point. I don't know. I mean, it's all about that money, let's be honest. They're trying to tap into that PC market. That's where it's going. However, you will notice that also Ubisoft is doing a subscription service. We've got PS Plus, we've got Xbox Live, and they're all trying to change to this subscription service where you just play it on the cloud. xCloud they're talking about a lot as well. And so basically everything seems to be changing. The industry changes a little bit, but now it's a collective change where they're now starting to talk about streaming it instead of actually owning the game or whatever. Or you have to, you have to fuck around with streaming it and not actually owning a physical copy. Or that seems to be the promotion of what I'm getting here. However, upon all of this, what they're not saying is that they're not saying anything, or did not say anything about a disk drive. They didn't say it was still going to be here or anything like that. So I think they're shutting that down, shutting that out, not mentioning it. But I think that might be the ploy. If they haven't got a disk drive, you'll have to go digital full time. They've already released a test console, and then they're basically going to move on to next gen and say, well, look, we've got the Xbox Game Pass. You don't really need to have a disk drive, but then that means you can't play DVDs, you can't play Blu-rays, you can't play 4K movies. You'll have to stream it through one of their services, or you just have to buy a 4K player or whatever else. If you're into that kind of thing, which is kind of disappointing if they have done that. It's not confirmed, but they're not saying anything about it, which leads me to suspect. Having said that, I think Sony might be a little bit open with, well, we will know more when the Xbox comes out, when we can pick and choose and judge and say it has this, it has that, what are the trade-offs, whatever else. At the end of the day, I am going to be picking up, I'm hopefully picking up the PS5. I don't know when it's coming out. They haven't got a release date for that. Maybe to counter and not go head-to-head with Xbox, they may release in the summer. I don't know. That's just a crazy theory. I don't think that will happen. I think it might go to go head-to-head at Christmas 2020. I don't know. Either way, it's going to be a lot of money, and I can't afford both of them. I'm going to have to pick up one and then just essentially pick up the next one later on or whatever. It is what it is. Anyway, so that's the elephant in the room I want to talk about. Very excited to know there's a new console coming. Kind of concerning to me because I've got my equipment, can it record for next gen consoles? I don't know. So that could kill my YouTube channel effectively. I don't know. I'll talk about that a little bit in another video when I do an update vlog or something like that. But anyway, so the games that came out at E3, this is the most important part that you guys probably want to know. So I'm going to find as many games as I can. I am going to be reading off a list. I'm just going to talk about them. Of course, one of the Xbox highlights was Keanu Reeves coming out, Cyberpunk 77, which we already know. Keanu Reeves we did not know. That was pretty cool. He came out. That was kind of awesome. And everyone cheered and loved it. That was so I'm going to go down some of the lists of games that are interesting to me. Blair Witch looked creepy as fuck to me. I'm not a horror fan, but I mean, it was something about a guy in the forest finding a lost child. Fuck that shit. That child can stay lost. I want to look for that fucker. He can find his own way out, or he's just gone. I'm not going in there. That was creepy as hell. Cyberpunk 77 looked great, as I said. Keanu Reeves, definitely a game I'm looking to pick up at some point. When that comes out, they played it on the Xbox. I know it's for both consoles, maybe PC as well. I don't know. Age of Empires looked kind of interesting. I don't know, it just did to me. Because I like playing on my TV rather than my PC in regards to... I don't know. I just like the idea of playing it on my big TV rather than my PC. To be honest with you, it's an old game, but it's been. I think it's just come to Xbox, I believe. We had Gears 5, lots of Gears 5, including Terminator Dark Fate reveal, which is pretty cool. Some game modes as well. We'll be playing Gears 5 on my on my channel or whatever. I've got to play Gears 4. I'm nearly done with the Gears series now up until this point. Dying Light 2 looked pretty good, but again, we already know that about that game. Borderlands 3, I'm a little bit hesitant to pick that up because Borderlands 2, I felt sick when playing it because of the FOV or field of view. It made me motion sickness, so I don't want to go paying out money for a game and then feel motion sickness when playing it or something. I don't know. I mean, I know it was released a couple of years ago now, and they probably changed that and shit, but it's still something that bothers me, and I don't like the idea of investing money and then not being able to play it. Halo Infinite will come out with the Xbox Scarlett, which will be the second game to come out at launch. The original Halo came out with the first Xbox back in 2000 something, and then so Halo Infinite is going to be the next game launching with a console. Again, guys, I'm skipping all over the place because I'm just going down a big list, or up a big list rather. So that was more or less the highlights for me. I mean, now there's 60 games. I can't really pick individual ones out, essentially. I mean, it was all, you know, like Flight Simulator, that don't really interest me. New games from ID at Xbox or whatever. Again, you know, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, that looked kind of interesting. Like a platforming game, that was kind of cool. It looked interesting worlds of, interesting art style at the back, and, you know, beautiful backdrops. I always like those types of games. You know, it really stood out to me. So Halo and Gears were the highlight, along with Keanu Reeves, really, and the Xbox Scarlett. I mean, everything else. I mean, the Xbox Wireless Elite Controller Series 2 looked pretty cool as well, but it cost about £150, which I'm not really interested in spending on a fucking joypad. Jesus. Um, I'm gonna go up to some other games now, and this will incorporate obviously other companies. I think even Ubisoft and stuff like that. Bethesda, Fallout. They focused a lot on Fallout because they're trying to fix that shit, along with apologizing and everything. I won't be picking the game up either way, but I thought they did it a little bit right by the community by giving a lot of free shit out. Then we've got Ghostwire at Bethesda. That looked kind of interesting, but we saw no gameplay. In Japan, a lot of games in Japan or like are coming to the fold now. You're seeing that culture. You see things in America a lot like GTA and stuff like that. We've got, of course, well, I'll talk about that in a little bit in terms of Watch Dogs. But you know, so Ghostwire in Japan is an interesting place. As long as it's English dubbed, that's always been my problem. I would buy the Yakuza, but if it's not dubbed, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not fucking reading thousands of dialogue things. Head to hell with that. So again, what other games are coming out? So we've got Ghostwire Tokyo, Elder Scrolls Blades. Again, lots of Elder Scrolls shit coming out. Not really interested in it. Some Commander Keen, which was about two kids or something, like a little platformer. I didn't really have much appeal on that. More Elder Scrolls Legends. Rage 2 official E3 DLC kind of thing. So that's kind of, I did like the Rage 2 DLC. It looked kind of interesting to me. I've got to play Rage at some point. Wolfenstein Young Blood. I know I'm going to other companies now, guys, so I'm just going down these games that I'm really interested in. Young Blood looks really cool. Wolfenstein, his daughters. I've gone with a lot of female protagonists over the past couple of, well, this year. I mean, they've got Wolfenstein. I think they've got another. They got Far Cry. They went with two female protagonists, I believe. So they're pushing that. And then, of course, we've got Deathloop, which looked cool to me. About two people who are assassins going at it, back and forth, trying to kill each other. Unfortunately, we didn't see no gameplay, but it does look interesting to me. Wolfenstein is only £30, Young Blood, so I think that's like going to be a shorter game, about 7 hours long. I don't know. But Deathloop and Wolfenstein still look interesting to me, along with Ghostwire. What else do we have here? Doom Eternal, that looked awesome. I played the last Doom. I did play it on easy. I didn't play it on normal. It was a game I jumped into. I was kind of scared, and people called me out on that. It is on my channel if you want to see me play Doom. It didn't have much of a story, or it did. No cutscenes as such. It was like here and there. About an 8 to 10 hour game, I believe. I don't know. In the one I played. But Doom does look interesting, and that cool pre-order with the helmet looked fucking awesome. That's going to cost 150, I believe. I can only imagine, because I feel like buying that, man, but I don't know if I have the money for that. But yeah, that looked fucking awesome. So yeah, Doom, blah blah blah. We got, yeah, okay, Gears 5 Escape gameplay. Okay, so we've got more gameplay stuff of it. Hmm. So hold on, Star Wars, yeah, obviously I enjoyed Star Wars. We'll be picking it up at some point. Again, I'm just trying to find more games, and I'm not finding any more than all I've talked about, really, that are here anyway on this page. What else we got here? I just see it a minute ago. Damn, there's so many, so many videos, sorry, that I'm looking through that I've lost where I was. Final Fantasy came out. I'm not a big, massive fan of Final Fantasy. Not that they're bad games, but I never really played them. And then, but I did like Final Fantasy VII Remake. That looked fucking awesome. Looked like a game like worth picking up. It reminded me, again, me, because I've not really played them. I like Final Fantasy 15. I borrowed it off my friend. I played it for a bit. Never completed it, obviously. I played it for about 5 hours. It reminded me of Nier Automata, the combat, you know, killing it back, breaking down an enemy, but it actually looked good to me, and I thought about, you know, that would be something worth picking up. It actually looks interesting to me because I know the gameplay a little bit, I'm used to it, so it might be something to look into. Obviously FIFA 20 I'm interested in. Definitely interested in that. I spoke about that in my EA press conference review, but again, I'm just going down this list because it's a lot more easier to do it that way than do it individually in these companies. Okay, guys, I'm trying to find more. Obviously, we know that what's it's coming out, Death Stranding and Last of Us 2, but that was more Sony with that situation right there. Persona 5 Royal, I didn't really see that. I haven't seen it advertised personally. Samurai Showdown, that's coming to PS4. The Legend of Heroes Trail of Cold Steel 3. There's also Japanese style games that I'm not interested in, or I'm not going to play. But there were lots of those it felt came out. Moving up this list, Chivalry. Chivalry's looked pretty good. I don't know if it's just it's not a PC game. I think it came out for, is that Xbox? I don't even know, but it looked pretty good to me. The swordplay and everything. The environments look really good. Looked interesting. Zombies Army 4. I never played the first three, so I don't know if I'll pick that up. Bloodlines 2, that vampire game, I didn't really appeal to me. It looked dark. I'm not really a fan of that shit, especially after playing a little bit of Vampire. It don't really interest me in the slightest. What else we got here? Uh, da, 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 da. Remnant from Ashes official story. That looked kind of interesting to me, but I don't think it was Sonic gameplay, so I'm kind of a little bit suspicious of that. But yeah, it looked like a lot of interesting monsters and stuff. Yeah, moving on up here. Watch Dogs. Now I hated Watch Dogs 1. I wasn't going to pick up 2, and then Watch Dogs 3 looked very interesting to me. Open city, like dare I say, better than GTA, like detailed open world scenario, combat, and hacking. But you could be anybody, the little old lady with guns rocking around, you know what I mean, just knocking the shit out of guards. And you could be anybody, look like anyone, be a police officer. It was essentially becoming part of a resistance kind of thing, and that seemed fucking cool, and I really liked that, and it actually made me hype for Watch Dogs 3. Um, so yeah, it feels like, even my friend Cal said that Watch Dogs 3 feels like that Watch Dogs, the original one, should have been that. You know what I mean? But you know, that you learn, you grow. They had enough money, or you know, or got enough back to say Watch Dogs 1 was poor, but we've made the second one better. After that, they went on with 3, and you know, and I think everyone in the audience was hyped for that. You know, it generally did look good. Cool trailer and everything. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, definitely another game I'm interested in playing. I didn't play the last one. I played only a demo. It wasn't that it was bad. I just didn't pick it up, but Breakpoint looks pretty cool. To me, they had some DLC for Honor, Shadows of Hitakuri or whatever. Which again, I didn't pick up the game. I'm not going to be picking up that, obviously. Just Dance made me laugh when they came out and there was a giant panda dancing on stage. Rainbow Six Quarantine, again, it's, you know what, that game's so hyped up and people tell me to get it and everything. Online game, but I never did. But they keep knocking out content for that game, and I think that's really good of them to keep doing that. It must be still going strong. Uh, what else we got? We got the Division 2. Not really interested in playing that, to be honest with you. I just not. It's more of a team-based game. I prefer my single-player kind of scenarios. What else we got here? So that's Watch Dogs Legion. Gods and Monsters Official. That looked interesting. But you know, it's just a niche for me. I mean, something I may or may not pick up. It just looked interesting. What else we got here? Didn't see the Surge 2 trailer. I didn't play the original Surge. What else we got here? Battlefield was more DLC, as I said. Sea of Thieves, not interested in it. That's Anniversary Edition. Um, what else we got here? I'm trying to find more stuff. It seems to be a lot of the same stuff. I know they had a shitload of Final Fantasy stuff. I'm not going to mention every Final Fantasy thing that came out. Because Final Fantasy VII was the main remake, which just killed it for me, which was like, yeah, it's a brilliant kind of thing, you know, like it's the hyped up. We got Kingdom Hearts DLC. I never played the original Kingdom Hearts. Hopefully I'll play that at some point. I don't know. Final Fantasy Online. Okay, it's an online shadow thing. Outriders look kind of interesting, but we haven't seen any gameplay, I don't think. And finally, from what I can see here, from what I can remember now, hold on if I can just, yeah, I'm at the top of the page now. So Life is Strange 2, obviously I'm going to be playing that at some point. I know it's a thingy game. The last game I can honestly God talk about here was the Avengers game. The Avengers game looked pretty cool. definitely something I'm interested in picking up. These superhero movies or whatever. I mean, we've had Spider-Man, we've had Batman games for a couple of years now, so why not? I don't know why they can't just make a game with a bunch of different individual superheroes and have their own stories, like Thor. Hell, you can make Thor like God of War to a point. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of issues with that, and whenever it's a movie studio jumping in with a game studio, it never really works out. But there's tons of potential there for people to tap in to a big ass game. If they had the kind of budget God of War had, for example, made a Thor game, made an Iron Man game, whatever it is, I don't know how you would incorporate all of it. You know what I mean? How long it would be or last. But you know that they could do it if someone really wanted to do it. But it's always with a movie studio and a game studio. It never really comes together. This actually looks pretty solid and looks like it's come together quite well for me. It doesn't look like it's just a try hard. It's just they've done it. They've made a good game. It looks like to me, from what I can see. But yeah, guys, it's been a long E3. I know that Nintendo is ongoing today, but I'm not going to be talking about them because I don't really play Nintendo games. But I'll watch it anyway, just out of interest. I did ask my friend Chaos, will they come out with any hardware? And he said no, they won't compete with PS5 and the Xbox 2 or whatever because they don't really need to. They just don't. If they make a game and they put it on their console, someone will pick it up and buy it, and that's just the way it is. I know it's a generational thing, and it like keeps happening because they market to kids over and over again. But in terms of highlights, guys, I'm gonna say Keanu Reeves being on stage, the Xbox Scarlett, Watch Dogs, Rage. Well, I say Rage is already out. My bad. I know I probably missed a load of games as well. Ghostwire looks interesting to me. We've got FIFA 20 coming out as well. Um, there's only a few highlights for me. Young Blood and Time Loop, or whatever that is, the Loop game, where the two assassins are going at it back and forth. And then, of course, you've got the Star Wars game and Doom Eternal. So there's about 4 or 5, maybe 6, 7 highlights for me overall. I'm not interested in every single game, like most of you. I'm just going to pick like a couple, maybe like less than 5 to 8, about that, around that, and then I'll pick those up over a period of time as well. But yeah, guys, that is more or less my end of the E3 coverage 2019. I think this video is a little bit better than my original one because, honest to God, that one, EA, was kind of piss poor for me. I didn't really enjoy the E3 one as much. I just simply wanted FIFA, and the rest of it was DLC, more or less, with that press conference. But yeah, guys, that is going to be the end of this video and my coverage of E3, I believe, at this point in time. I am going to be playing God of War next week. I do advise you to watch that playthrough on a television, though, a big television, because there's black borders around the screen, and I couldn't figure out how to get rid of those until a much later date, so that is an issue, and I am fucking frustrated at it. Do not watch it on a laptop because you probably won't see it very well, or you'll be a bit pissy about it. If you watch it on a television, it will be better. I know that's my bad. I can't do nothing about it. I'm disappointed in that. But there are more games, better games coming up for you. I'm going to have to play something like Far Cry at some point. It's another open world. Assassin's Creed will be finished off in the next couple of weeks, but I'm going to break it up with God of War and whatever else, and we'll move to a shooter. I've got to play Halo 3. Man, there's all these games that I've got to complete and finish and do whatever, and they won't be choice-based games. They'll be they'll be more entertaining games. I know a lot of you, I've had 2 choice-based games on my channel in Beyond Two Souls and Batman. I know you guys don't really like those too much. I know maybe Detroit Become Human people more interested in. I'll play that at some point as well, but I'll be doing other games in the meantime. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Links will be in the description below. You can donate to me via PayPal or by monthly or one-time payment to help run this channel. And because this investment, I'm going to have to start saving up for a PC or a new console for next generation. I know we've got a year and a half for the Xbox. No word on when the PS5 is coming out, but it's interesting, but it's going to cost a lot of money. I might have to just buy one console at this point and just wait until I can get enough money essentially to get the next one. Anyway, guys, I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.